Okay. Ear rape? No. I think it's happening as it should. Hi. No ear rape this time. You're welcome. Oh, you guys, before we get started, let's chat for a little bit, huh? I am happy that you're all here. Oh, and Coast rated me on Rumble. Thank you for the raid, Coasty. What were you streaming? Was it NASCAR related? It's good to see you guys. Hello. Can you believe I have 1,000 and like 80 something people following me on YouTube? Like, oh my god. Can't believe it. How many am I at on Rumble? I have 935 followers on Rumble. YouTube is long surpassed Rumble. Hi. Good, it is working. Talking about my YouTube, so apparently you need 3,000 watch hours to get monetized, and I think that's like ad revenue and super chats. I'm gonna round it off. I'm like at 1,500 watch hours, so we're halfway there. Yeah, and all of you have helped me. Thank you. I feel genuinely blessed by you guys. Thank you so much. We're getting there. Oh my god. Oh, and speaking of that, for those of you who do want to support me, or if you ever feel like you want to, I finally made a Streamlabs tip page, and I linked it down below, so you don't have to use Ko-fi if it's not your thing. But no obligations. I'm just letting you know. I kind of realized that now that I'm on YouTube, like Ko-fi might not be where it's at for some people. But I did it like an hour ago. I don't know if I really did it correctly, but I have a Streamlabs tip page. I'm a commissar. Balls found this out for me, and then I neglected to customize it because I'm afraid of messing it up. Okay, I'm just a woman, guys. I don't know these technical things, okay? Oh, you guys. Man, did you see that shit with Will Stancil? Like, not only did, like, Antifa, or, like, the one part of Antifa that's, like, the anti-ICE guys beat, like, punch him or whatever, but now they're calling him a rapist. I tried to make a tweet about it, but for whatever reason, me trying to make a tweet directly at Will Stancil weirdly would not work, so I had to delete it. But yeah, I tried to tweet about it because it's like, hey, welcome to the fucking party, dude. You did barely anything, and now they're calling you a rapist. Now they're fucking mad at you because you keep trying to show genuine, you're trying to show what like a genuine, transparent character you are, and they are not accepting it because they're mentally ill. Like is Will Stancil about to become a right winger? And when I say right winger, I mean like put into the box like the rest of us have been. It do be like that. The most raped man alive. Wouldn't that be iDubbbz? Hold on. Who is the raped, really? I have some chai tea, and I accidentally put too much honey in it, so it's like overly sweet, but it's okay. It's not terrible. I like honey. I just kind of like put like a whole ass tablespoon in here. Whoopsie. We'll get started in just a minute on Warhammer, you guys. We're going to continue the video that I stopped last week. I stopped in the middle of last week, and then I couldn't stream, what was it, Sunday night? And I couldn't stream Sunday night. I think. My days are running together. We will red pill Mr. Stancil soon. I mean, like, leftists, and I'm also guilty of like putting them in the leftoid box, because normies who knee jerk to the left or what have you or whatever, like I'm going to use these internet terms. It is what it is. In some shape or form, we've all been groomed by the internet. That might be a bad joke. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry to like maybe like a 10th degree sorry. But um yeah, I don't know. I actually genuinely feel bad for Will Stancil. Cause he's really trying to prove himself and it's like, brother, that was like the most of us 10 years ago. Good luck. You're not gonna get anywhere to them. Like what they did is that you did one small error, which it looked to be that it was him recording their faces, which he wasn't. But they didn't want to take him on his good word. They didn't want to take him on his good word because they don't function like that. That's another reason why they're like kind of a self-induced psychotic bunch, okay? And because they do operate as a hive mind, like even more so than we've truly ever seen, like with boomers or what have you. He's not being called a rapist, okay? If you want to see what I'm talking about, I could refer you to the Twitter channel or the Twitter page that is called Blue Sky Libs. If you look up Blue Sky Libs on Twitter, you'll see the Will Stancil stuff because he's posting mostly on his Blue Sky. And it's crazy. But in some ways, I do feel kind of bad for him, but I mean, we've all been there, done that, like whatever. You were slighted or accosted or hurt in some way by some lunatic leftist. Yeah, that's all of us. That's all of us. Did you vote Trump? You lost friends. Did you not want to get the vaccine because, you know, that's your fucking prerogative? But probably lost friends, probably had family members fight with you, you know. And currently right now, you don't like, oh, you support ICE? Oh, well, you're a murderer by proxy. Bad. No good. I have never actually physically been to this site, Blue Sky, so Twitter accounts that do a service for us like Blue Sky Lives, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I followed them just today. Seen this Will Stancil stuff. And he wanted to like sneak his way back in to do more filming. Now that looks, hear me out. Imagine I'm a leftist, okay? That looks very right wing on the surface. Especially to like deluded leftists. I don't know, like listen, I gotta come up with a better name because for the new age people who are just kind of like on the surface spiritual, listen, I don't want anyone to feel pigeonholed. I can use Epstein as an example. Epstein actually had an email. I know it's like kind of egregious of me, but he had an email where he was talking about all the celebrities like Madonna, Ashton Kutcher, and whoever else like 10 plus years ago that were doing like that Jewish thing where they wore the red bracelet, like the red string bracelet. Well, he had an email that was talking about how some huckster rabbi did this, and instead of like them like converting to Judaism, they're just kind of making it, I'm paraphrasing terribly bad, like some popularity contest, okay? And that's kind of what leftism looks like to me. And a lot of them that are like real deep into the trenches of it, they kind of look like what I would call, like especially Madonna, a bug lady. Madonna's a spiritual bug lady. Like there's like weird kooky stuff about her, and a lot of these leftists are the same. That's why I don't necessarily call them woke. Like they're like the personal army for woke things, but it's more so that they are whatever the equivalent to a bug lady would be. I wonder what can we call them? I mean, we can call them commies, but I see it more as a psychological thing going on with them. I've never seen the Will Stancil show. That thing ain't no lady. She's something. Maybe. She's definitely a bug lady. Borg Hive. Oh, somebody's message on YouTube got deleted. I didn't see what you said. If it was mean, I don't care. If it was something YouTube didn't like, I'm sorry. If you deleted it yourself, then why would you gatekeep your precious words from me? Who's Rob Reiner? Listen, don't hate me because I live under a rock, okay? Who's that? Who is that guy? Rob Reiner. They drove him off the platform, though. Whew! Communism, Marxism, yeah. I don't know, I'll think of something kind of creative, you guys, in time. I will. Hi, yes. I am little. It is, you know, cozy time. And I just wanted to keep being the chibi for Warhammer stuff, okay? I can't wait to get an official chibi. For those of you on YouTube who are new to checking me out, this is actually a free model that I found on Google a very long time ago. Actually, on Ko-fi, and it's by a girl named Honey Kudzu. So if you're ever into VTubing, you can't afford a model, and you think chibis are cute, Honey Kudzu, Ko-fi, you will find her free to use, like little chibi models, and you can customize them. So I implore you, do it. When I first started out, I used the free chibi model a lot for that. You know, guys, I'm gonna be for real with you. I'm getting slightly worried that when the time comes that I could do any sort of like VTuber upgrades, that I might not be able to find people to work with me because they'll like look at my content and be like, no, you're a right winger. And it's like, no, not really. I just say uncomfortable truths because I'm tired of living in this society that I cannot escape. But it's okay because in some weird way, I'm trying to make my little corner of the world a better place than it was when I found it. She might pull my license. She has no power. When people were pointing out to me that the people who were doing that to Powder, I don't watch her content. I don't really know. I just thought it was like really stupid that they were doing this to Powder. Then apparently they're a Chinese group of people. They're not a company. They're working through Vegan. And yeah, they're like, no, sorry, we're just a team of like 4 people. And it's like, either a woman wrote this or something. I don't know. It was such a long fucking response that group decided to make. And it's like, you know, hang on. That's another point I want to make. So whenever like you guys see like my regular model, my regular Fallen Angel model, that took me several months to get back from being rigged. And I don't just the fact that like it's just easy money and they're just artists, like they have no business acumen to them. And they definitely don't show much respect. I mean, I also venture to assume that the person who rigged my model was coming across how like right wing, quote unquote, I was becoming on Twitter. And that's probably why she like stalled out my stuff, because she has like one of those Trellos where you can like keep track of progress, and she just kept putting people in front of me. And it's like, I gave you $200 to rig this. Holy shit, I'm still mad about it. And it's like, well, okay, I could just go ahead and pay monthly and get Cubism and rig it myself, but I don't have art skills. And I mean, I guess I could do that, but I would be taking just about as long myself from where like I work, and then I got stuff I'm doing. So Trello, I think it's called Trello. You can look at it and it's like all these like sections. The Epstein Bitcoin rabbit hole goes. Well, the guy that they think is what's his name? Satoshi Nakamoto. The guy, and I don't remember the name of the person they think he is, but yeah, he's like deep into it. Deep into the Epstein stuff. Are you familiar with Arch or the Pontius? Yes, I do have an Arch video that I'm going to be finishing here in just a minute. Hang on, we'll go ahead over there. I'm going to be finishing this one, but I'm going to actually be switching to like funny videos. This is what I got lined up. I got another one. And these are ones that I pulled out of my suggested, okay? And I thought it would be pretty nice to really laugh at some stuff. I still want to soak in lore, but some of this like Warhammer meme stuff is hilarious. Mega Monster. Oh yes. So a previous point that I was meant to make is that apparently the people, the group of 4, they are probably Chinese, which they look like. How many times have we seen Chinese people masquerading as Japanese on the internet? You know, I mean, it's like a great model. Apparently, I saw the Wingin page for the model that Powder was using, and it was like $150+, which is not bad. But like, I mean, what like a woman-centric thing to do? Retroactively change the rules and then just be like, you can't do that. You can't do that. And it's like, why? Because like a handful of freaks that wanted to snub somebody because they saw their fucking outlet. They saw their in to do that. There's no way. Like, hey, your prerogative. It's your business. You know, if you don't want to have your art associated with political people, which is kind of shooting yourself in the foot because that's limiting your reach of how much you're going to make money. But if you want to take less money and not deal with people who discuss politics, then, you know, you can shove that right up your stupid fucking ass and have a good day. And no one's gonna care. But retroactively changing things, because now it looks like you've just jumped on the hate train towards that particular VTuber, and it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Not to mention, like, what a horrible business practice, right? I mean, it's bad enough that artists, a lot of them over fucking charge as is. Take, in my particular case, close to over a year, I believe, for me to even get anything done. It's bad enough that there's a bad reputation that's already present. And then to just do this childish nonsense of like, oh, well, you need to stop using the model. You need to stop. And it's like, you can't. That is such a woman to make herself an authority of something because all of a sudden she realizes that this is going to make her look bad. And it's like, calm down, bitch. Sit down. Sit the fuck down. You ain't that bitch. So stupid. I don't really keep up with Powder, but like I hope she's been able to make the best of the situation, and the best thing you can do, and my advice is the best thing you can do is mock them relentlessly. Shame them, mock them, laugh at them. That was so stupid. It was just as fucking stupid as Advanced GG coming out and with a fake fucking story. And then doing what they did by dropping Straub and Rev and, you know, whatever. No, and I actually believe that VGen should be alerted that this is what people are doing, that they are trying to like renege on things, and it's like, nah. That's horrible business practice. I really need to start this video. I'm not sure who Jelly is. Oh, for you guys on YouTube, you will come to find that, like, I'm slowly finding VTubers, especially ones I like, and I find like-minded. I don't really keep up with VTubers too terribly much. I do a little bit better than I have in the past, though. Mocking them is the best remedy. You never, like the best thing that they should have did, that they're not a company, but this, like, group of artists, the best thing that they should have done, and it wasn't, oh, I don't want my art associated with political VTubers. What it actually should have been is that, something along the lines of, like, what a user of, our particular VTuber models says does not reflect us. That's simply it. That's simply it, but whatever. Of Face Connect? I really only know Pippa. I know, I am a Philistine, guys. I'm sorry. Especially by the Chinese. Yeah, fuck the Chinese. Anyway, you guys, I should get this started. Actually, holy shit. Let me AFK for like 1 minute to grab some water, and then I'll be ready to watch it. Do you guys mind waiting? Hang on. I'll be back. Please wait for me. You'll wait for me, right? I'll be back. Okay, I have water. My cat made sure he was content. Are you guys ready to start this? Like you have a choice? I'm sorry. I realized my tea was getting low and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna want some water. Hang on. That way I don't have to get up later. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. So I know some of you are new here, but from last Wednesday I was doing Warhammer and I had to stop in the middle of a video, and we are now going to continue that video. Based as fuck. I am honestly very flattered at all of you on YouTube who keep calling me based. As far as things are for me, like I'm just a very misanthropic person. I don't know, like I'm just kind of a cunt about things, I guess. I'm very tired of things. And I just say whatever the fuck I fucking want. And I try to make sure that it's well intended, like has well intention behind it, okay? Like I try. Thank you so much. I can't believe that I've had so many people follow me. I cannot believe that. It's crazy. Crazy. What else? I was gonna say something else. Not afraid to say things. I appreciate that. No, I have nothing to lose. I'm going to tell you, my sweet little Uber mention, sideways. All of my Rumble babies know. Some of my YouTube babies are learning it. But I'm not one to people please. I want to do the right thing. I want to do what's right. I want to do what's factual. I want to do what spiritually feels good, you know, feels right. But the last thing you'll catch me never doing is trying to appeal to people that will let me go in an instant. Like they've done to Will Stancil, right? Like, no way. No way. I've had many people who don't want to associate with me as a VTuber. I've had many people who told me that I should not say and do the things that I do, and I'm like, you're asking way too much of me. Like, I'm not gonna come on here and put on some character. Like, yeah, I'm a fallen angel, but like, I'm still gonna be myself, you know? I'm not about to be fake. Learning? You're learning? Are you? Holy shit, let's get started. Now, I'm gonna kind of speed this up because, no offense, guys who like Arch, he's fucking slow. Woo! So, I'm gonna speed it up where we left off. I'm gonna put him at 1.5. Make him a little perked up. They can't handle the truth. I mean, and just the elite. Like, I've been fucking pissed off at the elite since, oh my god, I don't know, 2010s maybe. I'm over that shit. Like, it's not like normies who want to have an opinion who are not plugged in and then get upset when it's pushed back. It's like, listen, it just, the world is not as like comfy as you think it is. Arch's boomer. I'll let it play though now. Who's Dev? How long was he friends with Dev?
We're starting to lose faith in their
And again, for the guys on YouTube who's just tuning in, I'm so sorry we're starting in the middle of a video. But if you're interested, you know, there's last week's stream where I did Warhammer Wednesday.
The overlords, and many of them started preaching.
I got to learn about the big Imperial Knights with the cathedrals on them, which was fucking cool. Okay?
Against the excesses of the
ecclesiarchy. That.
And with the command and control structure of the ecclesiarchy currently occupied with moving millions of clerks and ungodly amounts of machinery, ledgers, archives, etc., they had no effective way of fighting back against these radical elements. You essentially had a large-scale uprising from within the ecclesiarchy itself against its governing body. And it was precisely this uprising that finally gave the Administratum the excuse they were so desperately looking for to intervene officially.
They were
the High Lord of the Administratum, one Gog
like...
Vandir, had risen to the top of the Administratum.
Wait, isn't he like, let me turn him down, just let me put him on like 1.25. Isn't Short Fat Otaku like, some retard? No offense, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like, I don't know, there's like some guy that had a name similar to that like deleted his whole channel or something like that recently. I don't know, this is some Twitter drama I remember catching.
Through, to put it mildly, ruthless means. Anyone who spoke out against him would, generally speaking, disappear rather rapidly and somewhat mysteriously. Using the disorganization within the Emperor's Church as an excuse, he maneuvered several of his own supporters into position within the ecclesia.
Hang on. So why did he delete his whole YouTube channel again, other than just being dramatic? What a total FAG. You guys, you picking up what I'm putting down?
Resulting in the election
he went after Kirsha. That's so stupid. I can't stand call-out culture at all. I cannot stand it. And I don't want to ever fall into that. Like, you'll never catch me being like, alright, let's make content based around, like, trashing someone else, even though I don't think very highly of their character and what they put out in the internet. I'm never gonna do that. I think call-out culture is grotesque. And the people who partake in it are desperate as fuck. They're terminally online. And if that's what he did to Kirsha, fuck him. Bye. You can suck shit through a fucking straw, asshole.
the High Ecclesiarch Paulus III, an incompetent and slothful
love
little
hearing about
bastard
the
that was
Ecclesiarch.
frankly a perfect example of everything that was wrong within the Adeptus Ministorum. And now the board was set. The Adeptus Ministorum was in open revolt against itself. It was led by a pompous and useless oaf of an ecclesiarch, and any military force they may once have possessed had now been scattered and diluted across the various worlds within their influence. With Paulus III as a figurehead, the Adeptus Ministorum was set to now reassert their dominance over the Emperor's Church.
Did he get TDS or
However,
something?
High Lord Vandir took it one step further. Escorted by a group of senior Imperial Guard officers, he marched into the High Ecclesiarch's newly refurbished Cathedral on Terra and denounced Paulus III as an incompetent and as a heretic, and shot him right then and there. Considering it was Vandir himself that put him on that particular seat, this might seem somewhat counterproductive, but Vandir had a far greater goal than simply puppeteering the Adeptus Ministorum. He announced himself to be the new Ecclesiarch, making him the de facto ruler of not only the Adeptus Administratum, but also the Adeptus Ministorum. Not since Malkador the Sigillite had one person inside the Imperium possessed so much power. And while I am all for the idea of a benevolent dictator, a man who genuinely wants the best for his people and can use his unlimited power to ensure that that is exactly what happens, Vendir was batshit fucking insane. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, he was clinically, medically, insane. And it was the bad kind of insanity. You know, the funny kind is when people imagine that they're starships and go flying around the room going vroom, vroom, or think that they're wonderful fluffy little bunny rabbits and sit in the corner cleaning themselves with their hands. No. Vendir was the kind of crazy that would take great pleasure in chopping off someone's hands, their legs, their various individual limbs, and then sewing them onto random places on their bodies. For example, he might chop someone's arms off, sew them onto his butt, and try to teach him to walk on them. He wasn't charmingly eccentric or fascinatingly derailed. He was a demonstrably deranged and demented lunatic, prone to raging ravings, irrational conclusions, downright psychopathic mood swings, and an unsettling adoration for motorized instruments of torture. He was Heinrich Himmler with a medical degree. He was a Joseph Stalin with a doctorate in batshit and mixed nuts. And I know I'm making a meal out of this, but trust me, this guy was so utterly beyond the human scope of imagination when it comes to mental health that he makes the story of Stalin saving a calf by snapping its itsy-bitsy little legs like dry twigs sound like a Disney afternoon fairy tale. And while many dared to hope that the irresponsible rule of the Ecclesiarchy was now dealt with, now that it was under the command of the Adeptus Administratum, those hopes were quickly dashed, as Vandir...
Real fast, I think with Kirsha, she can't, get someone to like make like a 2D model for her or something like that. I remember hearing a while back that like just trying to find artists to work with is very hard because of her reputation. Which her reputation's not bad. It's just the willfully delusional. I might be wrong on that, but like I think that's what's a problem for her.
Started going about his business which included talking to the Emperor quite frequently. He would fall over unconscious, wake up a couple hours later, and claim that he had spoken to Big E himself and received his instructions. Judging by what happened after that, I can only imagine that the conversations between Vandir and the Emperor went something
she just doesn't use it, so she has
Vandir,
one?
I just thought of something fucking hilarious.
I thought she was still having trouble with that.
You find a piece of fossilized wildebeest poo and use it to beat your servants to death. Because every time that Vandir had a one-on-one conversation with the God Emperor, he turned remarkably violent.
State, it's lucrative.
And by the way, that is remarkable by the standards of an individual.
Hang on. All you need is a... Because you have to do something called Live 2D, and you need a program called Cubism, and Cubism unfortunately costs per month. It has a monthly cost. And that's what people do the VTuber rigging in, for the 2D models, okay? It's very lucrative. And the thing is, and what these other vapid whores especially, you know what, I'm not gonna go there. I have gone this long without ever mentioning her name. Fuck. Alright. But for the type of people who tend to like really take their time and all this and that, they miss out on money. So you being a punctual, upstanding person, Seth No State, you would make... I mean, I knew a girl that made $20,000 doing it. She was also the one that stalled mine out for a very long time. But yeah, definitely. If it's something you're interested in. I mean, I wouldn't hire you.
Torture people for funsies. At this point in time, the vast majority of the rebel factions were having fond memories of the time that they were being chased across the galaxy by the Templar forces, because at the very least, back then, they would end their lives with a good old-fashioned lasball to the head, rather than being sent down into the deranged...
So what led to Dev deleting his YouTube channel? Or am I crazy? Did that not even happen? He deleted something. What led to that?
torture sex
I know we're supposed to be watching Warhammer, but now I'm being updated on dumb internet drama that I'm halfway interested in.
It probably wasn't
I'm interested in both.
In fact, I would go so far as to say that it would be a pretty good bet that whatever he was talking to was some form of tentacled monstrosity with a deep and dark appreciation for extra spiky edition XL dragon dildos. And the really fascinating part is that there is no evidence to suggest that Vandir was so creative with his afternoon hobbies before he became the High Ecclesiarch. He was certainly a ruthless career politician that wouldn't think twice about having some of his competition taken care of with a bolt round to the back of the head, but there's no suggestion that he would then take the corpses down into his deep dark dungeon and make festive little figurines out of the body parts. Now, admittedly, he probably did indulge in a little bit of arts and crafts before he put on the Warhammer 40k equivalent of a Pope hat, but it would seem that his somewhat deviant tastes were massively enhanced by that wonderful piece.
Honestly, hang on, if you don't mind me, if you guys don't mind me talking business real fast, especially because I really want to influence Since No State to do this. I'm not gonna twist your arm, brother, but so from where the left have created this, do I want to call it a paradigm? I don't quite know the word that I want to use for it. But from where they have created this this labeling where we're all right-wingers, right? Since No State could literally just use their buzzwords on Twitter and be like, I am a right-wing fucking rigger for VTubers. Dude, you would get attention, you know. People would be like, that's our fucking guy. That's our goy. That's our goy right there. I'm not even joking with you. I think using buzzwords and whatnot, like, to get anywhere, any traction on the internet is asinine. But however, you know, memeing it up, having fun with it, that's different. That's different. Kalergi! $5 on Rumble. Missed the start of this. Have we talked about what happened to Powder recently? The artist for her model threatened legal action against her for sharing wrong thing while streaming with it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we talked about that a bit ago. But, I mean, I'm going to tell you some of these things. So, I found out that they're probably Chinese masquerading as Japanese, which... I should have fucking realized that sooner. They're used to that social credit nonsense, right? It was piss poor of that group of 4 people to do that. I do believe that they should be reported to VGen for that, because that is some bad business tactics. That's almost theft. It's like, oh, you got wrong think? Well, we need you to not use our model. And it's like even harassing the fact, I mean, like, we're borderlining on a lawsuit, honestly, with what if they keep harassing her not to use the model and all this and that's starting to border on a lawsuit, which tells me even more. Not only are they not probably in this country, which I don't believe they are, I think they're faking that they're from Japan. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but it's still like this is stuff that can be disputed. Like they're treading in troubled water here. And they're a bullshit company, and I don't think that the mocking should ever end. Ever. They deserve the shaming that they get, just like Advanced GG does. But yeah, there you go. Kalergi. I'll settle on something eventually, okay?
Headgear. Not necessarily the hat's fault, mind you, but the idea that
China is super racist. Could you imagine they're masquerading as Japanese VTuber creators, and they're like, no black people, please? Could you No black people, don't use our model if you're black because that's the wrong message that we're putting out. You ever seen how racist they are towards blacks? I think they're called Liz Meta. Lizmeta, one word, Liz Meta, and they're on VGen. Is that it? Liz Meta?
You are now in a position where you control practically the entirety of the Imperium, and your closest advisors within the Adeptus Ministerium are constantly telling you that you should be able to hear Big E talking to you. Well, let's just say that it's entirely possible that that might have pushed Vandir's already somewhat fragile
psyche
FB? Well over the breaking points and deep into dark Legoland territory. It didn't help either that it would appear in many cases he had a legitimate cause for claiming he was talking to the Big E. Once it was made frightfully apparent that Vandir was a little bit more psychotic than his predecessor, many of the Ecclesiarchy's higher-ranking personnel tried to flee Terra back to Ophelia 7. Unfortunately, once they got on a nice big ship and tried to warp their way back, their ship was destroyed in a warp storm. Vandir, of course, claimed that this was the Emperor showing his displeasure against the Ecclesiarchy. My money would probably be on a slightly different deity, one that might have large numbers of
a judge would throw that out
away in cabinets, but
I mean, first of all, they're in another country, so I don't know. But I mean, Project Melody had a similar problem where the guy didn't agree with something about her and started fighting her about her use of his model. And I believe that went to court. But that guy's not from China. I'm looking it up. Oh, he kept DMCAing her. Project Melody. He wanted more money and control. Okay, so the two don't relate. The two don't relate. I don't know. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I apologize. Hello, Axe Crazy. I do not pay for YouTube. That was foisted upon me by someone, a girl, who really likes me. I otherwise would just have ad blocker going. I'm gonna be honest with you there. I wouldn't pay for YouTube. That was foisted upon me probably almost a year ago. She wanted me to have it.
Hey, details, right?
FP, if you keep having problems on Rumble, I'm streaming on YouTube as well.
Vandir got to work. He started cleaning out the Ecclesiarchy, and by cleaning out, I mean murdering pretty much the entire
some of you already know who the girl is that foisted it upon me.
Purges, except even less logical and more driven by sheer good old-fashioned nuttiness.
She is also an angel.
As Vandir represented not only the Adeptus Ministorum, but also the Administratum, he was a hell of a lot more effective in quashing the various rebellions. Except he went way too bloody far. Even by Imperial standards, his treatment of the quote-unquote traitors made even the Inquisition turn around and vomit. For fuck's sake, even the Officio Assassinarum was thinking he might be getting a little bit too bloodthirsty. And that's mostly because while the Imperium has no objections to good old-fashioned violence once used against a worthy target, Vandir pretty much just did shit for the lulz. He ordered the hive world of Kalan 7 to be bombarded from orbit for no particular reason, just because funny.
Having a girl want to do stuff for me is something else, guys, I'll tell you what. I'm like, women don't give me the time of day. And as a bisexual, that is very sad. But she likes me a lot.
Again, no particular reason. The Imperial Guardsmen themselves didn't know quite
she
what they
really
were
begged me to take this too, and I kept telling her, save your money, I don't want it.
Like
and she's like, what's your email? Like, oh god, fine. Fine.
And don't get me wrong, the Imperium is more than happy to utilize child
Even though
soldiers
I
if
would
the
feel
situation
better
demands it.
if she saved
For
her
example,
money.
if a hive city is under siege and they can't be evacuated, as during the siege of Hellstreet during the Armageddon War, many children at the age of 12 above and below
What's the
were
lore
thrown into
here?
the
What do you
hive
mean, like
militia, but
Warhammer, or
that
like
was because they couldn't be evacuated.
crazy
Generally
pretty
speaking,
ladies in my
12-year-old
life?
children are not the best sort of soldiers. And this particular agri-world was under absolutely no threat. Neither is there any mention of the children actually being used for anything afterwards. They were just abducted from their families because fuck it. But at least they got,
What if they became the little
presumably, to live.
cherubs?
On another occasion, Vandir ordered the ice caps of the planet
I mean,
Johanna to be
I loved the little
melted,
Warhammer cherubs.
causing, well, considerable amount of water to be released into the planet's seas, drowning over 4 million people in a sparsely occupied
Kalergi.
frontier world.
I gotta
And if
say
this is what
G.
he
I
did
like
for
that better.
fun,
Color
you
G.
can imagine
You've
how
gotta
hard
tell
she
me
was
how you
against his
pronounce
enemies.
it.
Previously, the
Kalergi?
Ecclesiarchy had been persecuting many cults
Kalergi?
that did
I
not
like trying to say
adhere
it,
to
it's
their
fun.
own rules and regulations. Vandir brought that one step further and really started amping it up. There were very, very few cults left within the Imperium that differed from that of the prime Imperial teachings. Many had been wiped out, many had simply conformed to the more accepted way of doing things because they didn't want to get fucking shanked. And those few who remained had gotten very, very good at hiding. But one day, one
I was missing that point. So the Emperor just straight up hates the Ecclesiarchy?
The
Well,
sect was called
wait,
the
I
Daughters
get it,
of
actually.
the Emperor. It was an all-female organization who devoted themselves to the worship of the Emperor through inner purity. And in 40k, inner purity obviously translates into the hatred of the Xenos, the Heretic, and the Mutant. As such, the Daughters of the Emperor had organized themselves into a paramilitary organization, running weapons drills and military exercises. At first, Vandir's servants assumed that this would simply send the
Hang
High
on.
Lord into one of his famous
Time
fits
out.
and rain.
Look above my head. Can you see Tim's video there? I don't really watch Tim Pool. But I'm still sub to him. You see that aliens are found? Guys, why is it every time like this elitist pedophile how come every time this elitist pedophilic ring resurfaces, we suddenly discover aliens again? Why does that happen?
Changes in order
Can
the entire
somebody
planet fucking virus
please make
bombed
it
or something, but
make sense
surprisingly,
for me?
he
Because
said he wanted
it's
to
every
visit the
time. Am
planet
I
and
wrong?
this particular cult. He took
I might
with
be
him a retinue
exaggerating
of over
slightly,
100
but it's like nearly every
soldiers
time.
and went to the planet aboard his personal
Pedophiles
ship.
are suddenly
Landing
like
upon the planet, he
the main
walked in
topic.
procession from the spaceport to the
Aliens.
location of the cult. Before
everybody, look at
Vandir
the
moved his
aliens!
soldiers and agents, who forced every single civilian along the travel route to go out of their houses, including newborn babies and old people, to get on their knees and to present some form of gift to the High Lord.
Allergy.
Those who refused or
Allergy.
bittered in any
Allergy.
way were shot as heretics because. Duh. When the High Lord arrived
Listen,
at the
listen.
cult's headquarters,
People
he was
call me
denied entry.
Zytris.
God
Like
only knows why. He
Zytris
seems like
a
such
lot.
a reasonable fella. But he managed to talk his
I
way
think it
in
is
through
to
the
avert
door,
attention. Like
claiming
they
that he would be able to show the Daughters of the Emperor
they
America.
probably have some
On that
weird
promise,
idea
he
that
was
like
let
us
in, where he
conspiracy
went to a
theorists are
small
suddenly
altar
going
to
to
the Emperor
care.
and prayed. When he was done praying, he ordered one of the Daughters of the Emperor to shoot him. There was some
The aliens
hesitance
are
at
the
first
pedos?
because, well, he had virus-bombed planets for far less of an insult, but
You
eventually
might be right.
the daughter shot him. There was a flash of light, and Vandir remained unharmed. In the eyes of the Daughters, this was a clear sign that Vandir was favoured by the God Emperor, and therefore protected from any harm. As a result of this, the Daughters swore their undying fealty to Vandir, and he returned to Terra with a small army of kick-ass warrior nuns in tow. As Vandir
those
had
warrior
predicted,
nuns.
the Daughters of the Emperor had never seen or heard of a personal force field. And to be fair, it was a pretty good bet. Personal force fields are very, very rare, even amongst people as powerful as the High Lords of Terra. Regardless of the tricks used to gain their fealty, the Daughters of the Emperor, now renamed the Brides of the
let's
Emperor,
deport
were
those
fanatically
aliens.
loyal to Vandir. They were used
Aliens
as an
were
elite
found,
bodyguard,
deported.
trained by the best, and equipped with the
Get 'em
finest
out.
weapons and armor the Imperium could produce.
Out,
They
out.
served as his bodyguards, his attendants, nurses, and, well, exotic companions. Their fluffy bedtime role notwithstanding, they were a fearsome fighting force, armed and armoured to a degree that it was usually reserved for the Adeptus Astartes, and naturally indoctrinated from birth that the Emperor was the one and true god and that Vandir, naturally, was
He
his
is.
representative.
No, the Emperor
This
doesn't want to
fanatical
be a
loyalty
god,
meant
though.
that they would
I
carry
still
out
gotta
orders that even his
understand
most loyal
more of
followers
the
would
Emperor
balk at.
of
For
Man,
example,
and
during
then the
one of the many assassination
Omnisaya.
attempts aimed
So the
against
Omnisaya
Vandir, suspicion
is a
was laid at
demon?
the door of a few
Right?
cardinals. The Brides of the Emperor killed every single cardinal currently serving on Terra. Every last one of them. Something along the lines of 120 of them. There was only evidence against about 7, but Hey, you gotta make sure,
they were tricked
right?
by that
But
shield,
the
huh?
Cardinals were not the only ones trying to kill Vandir. Countless assassination attempts followed, but protected inside the Imperial Palace by the brides of the Emperor, Vandir survived many assassination attempts. The excesses of the ecclesiarchy grew worse and worse. The Imperium was literally shattering apart under the weight of tithes and taxes. The Imperial's armies went understaffed. The money that was supposed to flow into the Imperial Guard going into building massive statues
Fuck off,
of Vandir
space
and the
neighbors.
Emperor.
We're full.
Imperial Guard military
right,
deployments and
gatekeep
expansion
Earth.
products intended for the Imperial Navy were similarly halted. And this was during a time where forces of chaos and orc warbands were rampaging across the Imperium. Xeno's empires were re-emerging and capturing world after world. And to make matters just a tiny little bit worse, massive warp storms had been raging across the Imperium for ages. The Imperium had been pushed way beyond the breaking point, and finally, a leader arose that could challenge Vandir directly. The last hope of rebellion, having been Vandir himself, hadn't really worked out all that well, and this time Vandir himself was challenged by a young man by the name of Sebastian Thor. A completely unknown ecclesiastical student, Sebastian claimed to have been shown a vision of the Emperor, demanding that Vandir must be brought to justice and the Imperium reunited.
So who was
At
it?
first, it was expected that this young man would be silenced
used
quite
the
quickly, like the
Exterminatus and
thousands of
destroyed
others
4
that had
hive
reached
planets.
against Vandir. However, something
Who
quite
was?
remarkable
Do you know
happened.
who that
Vandir
character
flew
was?
into a massive rage and ordered the vast majority of the Templar forces to be sent to Sebastian's world of Dibamar to enact the sentence of exterminatus upon the planet.
Oh, Snark Monkey.
However,
Snark,
the Templar forces
Snark Monkey.
never
I keep
arrived.
stuttering today.
The entirety
Like,
of the
that's
ecclesiarchy fleet
badass,
was
though.
wiped out by a gigantic warp storm, whose coming sent the warp into such chaos that it blew out the smaller warp storms. This massive and almost unprecedented cataclysm was known as the Storm of the Emperor's Wrath. And it would appear as if this time the Emperor really did decide to butt in on things, because this was very, very convenient. Practically the entirety of the ecclesiarchy's loyal standing army wiped out in the blink of an eye. And at this point, the Imperial Guard was starting to get, shall we say, just a teensy-weensy bit suspicious about their chain of command. Now, technically, the Astra Militarum is not directly under the Administratum's command, although in most cases the Administratum
I
is
do
the
like
ones
how he
issuing orders
pronounces
directly
all
to
these
the
words. The
Imperial Guard,
Amentistratum.
but, well, they'd have
The
enough of taking
Amentistratum.
orders from Vendir, because it was getting pretty damn fucking obvious that he was not entirely balanced. And now that a worthwhile challenger had arisen in the form of Sebastian Thor, which, the thing is, he wasn't anything. He really wasn't. He was just a basic ecclesiarchy student who claimed he had visions from the Emperor. But the thing is, he wasn't killed as quickly as the others. He managed to start rallying support, and, even more importantly, the vast majority of the Imperium was getting sick and tired of the current High Lord / Ecclesiarch. As such, they were more than happy to at least throw their weight behind him,
So
or worst
you're-
case scenario,
so-
simply just fucking
so
ignore
Snark
him.
Monkey, you're
Many
saying
planets outright
that
declared loyalty to Sebastian Thor once he visited.
The Imperials wouldn't have
Others
known
just
who.
refused
They
to
would have
fight
just been like,
against
all right,
him.
we're in the
Many
pursuit
forces, like the Adeptus Mechanicus
of
and the Adeptus Astartes,
glory,
were
pretty
of the
much.
latter, until Vendir ordered what remaining forces
So-
he had
so that's like
to
that
attack
corrupted
the Adeptus
part.
Mechanicus and the Astartes, at which point they would no
that
longer
they
be
have to
neutral. And
expose,
now that the
maybe.
resistance
I'm trying to make
finally
sense.
had a figurehead that they could gather
I like
behind and
it.
focus on.
I'm just trying to
it
make
was time for the
sense.
various forces of the Imperium to move against Vendir, and with his outwards aggression, the Mechanicus and the Adeptus Astartes now both had a legitimate excuse to strike back against him. The then Fabricator of Mars dispatched several regiments of Skitarii to attack Vendir's ecclesiastical powers on Terra. This force of the Mechanicus was joined by elements of the Imperial Guard, others just simply stood by.
I want
The
to paint
vaunted
miniatures
garrison
so
defenders of
bad.
Terra simply just
That's
stood
a whole
down.
investment,
And
though.
Skitarii were joined directly by
Because you
several
got to get
Space
like
Marine
the
chapters,
really
including
decent
the ancient
paint.
Guardians of Terra, the Imperial Fist,
And all that.
the Black Templars, the Soul Drinkers, and the Firehawks.
Ooh, soul
The assault
drinkers.
was
That's
expected to be
fucking
brief
crazy
and
sounding.
successful.
The
Most of
soul
the Templar forces
drinkers.
had been annihilated in the warp. Most of the Loyalist Guard regiments were simply
It is a
standing
lot of
by and
information to
allowing
take in,
the
but
Mechanicus and Adeptus Astartes forces to march into the palace.
I like it.
However,
We'll have to probably
the forces
go over
arrayed
it a
against
bunch of
Vandir
times
had
because it's
severely
me.
underestimated his elite core. The Brides of the Emperor, armored in power armor and wielding modified bolt weapons, were able to offer effective resistance even against the Adeptus Astartes. And while
I must
individually outmatched
the
by the mighty
plastic
Space
crack.
Marines, the force of the Brides of the Emperor had been expanded to 10,000 sisters, more than enough to occupy the highly defensible areas of the ecclesiastical palace, which after all was built on mighty Terra, a world that over the years had been industrialized and fortified to the point of near impregnability. As the assault continued and
Impregnability.
casualties mounted, more of Van Deer's insanity became apparent. While he had been micromanaging, and in many cases micro-insanitizing, many parts of the Outworld Imperium, his offices in the Imperial Palace had been left completely neglected. Vast areas of the ecclesiastical holdings on Terra
Balls, do you also? I know
ignored.
Rooster does, but do
In
you
some
also
places, it
like
was said that
paint
the dust lay
miniatures?
so thick that it would reach up to a grown man's knees.
I don't know if you do
The
or
once
not. I know
lavish
Rooster
and
does.
expensive decor of the Imperial Palace had been allowed to rot away. Rats now nested in the expensive carpets. The windows were so filthy they couldn't even be seen
Rats,
through.
not
And
the
several floor wings of
rats.
the palace had literally collapsed under their own weight due to the lack of maintenance work. The Brides of the Emperor were, in effect, defending a massive collapsed ruin against the forces
Inquisitor
of the Imperium, and they were doing
Cryptman.
so with great skill and power. What was
I
supposed to be a
love
quick
the
decapitating
names
strike
that
that had
are
been
in
launched directly
Warhammer.
against Vendir himself with Adeptus Astartes drop pods had become a long drawn-out siege that looked like it could last for years. But there was one force that was already inside the Imperial Palace, the Adeptus Custodes. Up until this point, they had kept themselves sequestered inside the inner sanctums of the Emperor, having taken oaths to cut themselves off from the outside world unless they received a direct orders from the High Lords or potentially
Snark
from the
Monkey
Emperor
is
himself.
deep into this lore.
It became obvious to them, however, now that the Imperial
Adorable.
Palace itself was under siege, that something was very, very wrong. At first, they assumed that some form of enemy had assaulted the palace, but once they realized that the ones besieging the Imperial Palace was its very defenders, the Imperial Fists, they had
that's
no choice
awesome.
but to get themselves any and all information they could acquire about the current
Oh, we're
state
getting
of
raided
the
by
Imperium.
Vlad over on
And,
Rumble.
well, let's just say that
Welcome
those
in,
particular
raiders.
situation
Welcome in,
reports
Vlad.
made for some
Welcome in,
dismal
welcome
reading.
in, welcome in.
It was decided within the Adeptus Custodes that they had
We
to
are-
end Van Deer's reign of blood.
Hang on, I don't want to talk over him. Even though I've been kind of bad about that. But welcome in, raiders. We are just watching some Warhammer stuff and just chillaxing. Yo, who's that gay in my YouTube chat? What are you talking? You just said like a whole bunch of like buzzwords that somebody under 25 doesn't even understand how to use. Whatever. Lolly. Clearly you do not into anime. What a gay. Hey Vlad, what were you streaming? I didn't catch what you were streaming. A lot of times when I'm going live I catch you, but I didn't see what it was. Only to a retard does this look like a straight up SS officer cap. I mean, come on. Warhammer, commissars, brother. I know you're retarded, but do better. Rewind. Chris Belair, no! I mean, if you want to catch the start, it's from like last week. If you look at my Warhammer Wednesday video last week, that's when we did the start of it. I'm sorry. I don't want to restart it. We only got like an hour or so. You guys ever notice that like reactionaries on the internet and they just come and talk like some shit and it's like, brother, it took you like 2 seconds or it would take you like 2 seconds to go look at other stuff that person that you're treating like shit has done. I just can't be affected. I just can't be affected, especially if you're like some low IQ retard. Like, fuck off. Oh my god, you make yourself look more stupid than you think you're doing to me. I mean, look at that like low IQ way he says it. Pedo bait looking lolly VTuber model with the SS officer cap. Hey, fuck off, retard. Well, I mean, like, the thing is that it may not take no effort, but they have the delusion that they think that it's just easier to just be a shitty retard. When actually that takes effort too, and you're excelling at it. Hey, that was my first YouTube hater in the, on YouTube. Yeah, yo! We're getting somewhere. I miss when they used to show up on Rumble. It's not the win you think it is. I mean, I felt like I lost brain cells reading what you said. You're probably black. Which, that's okay, that's not your fault. I could be your hater on Rumble. I miss the ones that would come in and like talk shit to me because they would see my regular model and they would just start quoting the Bible and stuff at me. Or the ones that would start talking about that a demon is going to actually possess me. That's the type of haters I get on Rumble. Do you guys remember whenever PewDiePie had the just the regular German military hat on and people were like, he's literally a Nazi. That's a Nazi. Do you remember that? That's a Nazi. Like, holy shit. Anyway, Vlad, what did you say you were streaming? Yeah, he's retarded with a hard R. Oh, you were playing Star Wars? The Force Unleashed one. When did that come out? I'm not like the biggest fan of Star Wars, but I know that's like something that's like super popular for dudes. And like that's another lore. That's another franchise lore I could deep dive and explore. I do know a little bit more about it than I do Warhammer though. You're gonna report me? Okay. When I've done nothing wrong. Brother, don't you have somewhere to go cry? Go to Blue Sky. Go cry about it. Make sure you say my name. Make sure you say who I am so they know. Okay? Zatris. Will you remember how to spell it when you get over there? Did you get your token downvote? I hope so. Hang on. Let me make sure that he did his engagement. Did you do it? I'm gonna check on you. No, he didn't do it. I am not offended by being called a Nazi. I don't care. I do not care. Anyway, guys, we got like a couple minutes of this archvid to go, and like I got a funny one. Thank you for the follow on Twitch.
As it was then
Thank
known.
you so much!
Using secret passageways through the Imperial Palace, they managed to get very close to Vandir's inner sanctum before being intercepted by the brides of the Emperor. However, these were not just Adeptus Astartes. These were custodians. For all practical purposes, they were the Emperor's will made manifest.
I have
the brides
the
could not simply attack
plug-in
them
to see
outright.
downvotes.
The Centurion leading the Custodes band entered into negotiations with the
My
brides of the Emperor.
virtue signaling video I think only has 10 downvotes, which is pretty decent. Not so many people are like angry about that.
And their leader, one Alicia Dominica. Although no real solution was reached in these negotiations, the Centurion would try one last desperate ploy, because he could see no flaws within the brides of the Emperor. In fact, he saw them to be some of the purest servants of the Imperium, and could not bring himself to order an assault upon them. He brought their leader, Alicia, before the Emperor himself. What transpired at that meeting is not known. The brides were sworn to utmost secrecy, and that oath was brought onwards with them.
It's very interesting that the Emperor has these
left this audience,
brides.
He was utterly convinced of Vandir's evil and how he had betrayed the sisters and their organization. She marched straight to Vandir's inner sanctum, where the mad old bastard was still barking out orders at non-existent scribes and commanders, whereupon she sentenced him to death as a traitor. Vandir's response was simply, "I don't have time to die, I'm too busy." A few minutes later, the leader of the now renamed Daughters of the Emperor left the room, with the head of Vandir clutched in one power-armored fist. The reign of the mad ecclesiarchs and the age of apostasy was over. The new High Ecclesiarch would come to be Sebastian Thor. He would revert many of the changes made
Take a nice little
by the
comfy
original
seat.
ecclesiarchy and those made by Vandil.
And we'll be
He would
watching more
drastically reduce
Warhammer
the power of the Imperial Church
right after
and
this
move
one.
elements of the Adeptus Ministorum back to Ophelia, creating a sort of double capital between Terra and Ophelia, ensuring that the ecclesiarchy could never again fall under the full control of the Administratum. He also acquiesced to the Decree Passive, which stated that the ecclesiarchy could have no men under arms. As such, the Templar forces were fully disbanded. The Frateris militia was still allowed to the ecclesiarchy as it was not a military organization under the
I think the
ecclesiarchy.
Sisters of Battle are pretty hot
It was
too.
a crusading force, and as such, in most cases, it would come under the command of the Imperial Guard, not the ecclesiarchy. However, Sebastian Thor did not agree to the idea that the ecclesiarchy should be entirely reliant upon other imperial organizations to defend themselves, and so he renamed the Daughters of the Emperor and reorganized
drinking
them
some water.
into the Orders Militant of the Adepta Sororitas, the Sisters of Battle. And we will be taking a closer look, finally, at the Power Armored Sisters in Part 2. Until then, I have been Arch.
Oh, there's a part 2? I'm not watching that tonight. I don't have the time for it. But what I do have time for is it wise to smash a Sister of Battle in Warhammer universe? Pros and cons. So I found this, I wanted to watch it. So you guys, we're gonna watch it.
Hey, what kind of
But we don't have to speed it up. Let me like turn it back to normal. Oh, it is normal. Alright, let's go.
question is this? Everybody know that the Adeptus Sororitas, aka the Sisters of Battle, are 100% wise to smash and have no cons. Fools! Don't y'all understand what kind of universe they live in? This is the Warhammer 40k universe. And to smash the cheeks, you must first get to the cheeks. If you can't get to the cheeks, then you cannot smash. 'Tis only logic, pure mathematics. And I know what you're thinking, viewer. You're thinking I can get those cheeks, no problem. And you know what, low key? I like your confidence, man. I like your confidence. However, you are still a fool. Let me put things into perspective for you. If you as a normal human being were to drop into the Warhammer 40k universe, you would be immediately doomed. Now, why is that? Let me explain. First con, the Warhammer 40k universe and the corruption. Let's talk about corruption first. In the Warhammer 40k universe, corruption refers to the insidious influence of the Chaos Gods. You know, these guys. Hold up. Yeah, I wouldn't trust that one, buddy. Was it really a dude or something? Well, I read that its nature transcends gender, so I would define it as a monster or evil god. And this is what could happen to you if you're corrupted by it.
His little cat
Now,
character
the
is
main
actually
source
funny.
of corruption is the warp, a chaotic immaterial dimension that exists alongside the material universe. It is a realm of pure emotion and psychic energy, and of course the Chaos Gods. And this corruption can influence you mentally and physically. It can influence your mind and exploit desires, fears, and vulnerabilities to sow discord and discontent. Corruption can lead to madness, possession, even physical mutations, deformities, and you can even grow an extra limb or organs. And to make things worse, viewer, the average man in this universe are really easy to corrupt. And the only thing that's going to give you some immunity from this corruption is going to be absolute faith in the God Emperor.
So glorious.
However, no one, and I mean no one except for probably a few, are completely immune to this corruption. And yes, Space Marines have been corrupted, along with a few Sisters of Battle. So again, if I were to put a normal human survivability in this universe into perspective, you would stand no chance. A lot of people have no discipline, no self-control, and you especially don't got no faith. You would be cooked before you even realize what happened. Moving
As
on.
Spike said,
If
I
you
love a
somehow get
woman
past
who could
corruption,
just kill me.
heretics,
Yeah.
Psychers, and mutants in this universe, you may have to then deal with Xenos, which is basically all races that aren't humans in this universe, like the Eldar, which are like space elves, the Orcs, the Necrons. Oh yeah, and then there's the Tyranids.
I hate the Tyranids so fucking bad. Oh my god, do I?
Yeah, theoretically speaking, if you was on a planet that the Tyranids were coming towards, and there were no Space Marines on that planet, hell, even if there were Space Marines on that planet, you would be cooked. These things are just as bad or worse than the Xenomorph aliens. Now, you may be thinking that if you was in this universe, you wouldn't come across things like corruption or these Tyranids.
I'm getting raided by dingus. Welcome in, raiders. Hi, dingus. Also, Vlad, have a good night and thank you for the raid, okay? Have a good night. Big titty ta? Am I saying it wrong? Ta? Ta? Tau. The Hoodas. They're here. Welcome in. "15 hours is the life expectancy of a guardsman." Wow. I am having a hoot. Dingus? What were you streaming tonight? It's good to see you, man. We are watching some Warhammer videos, and we've just went into like some funny ones that I found. Well, some of them were submitted to me, but this one here, is it wise to smash a sister of battle? I was very curious about this. Did I say 15 hours? What, did I read it wrong? Snark monkey. Okay, let's keep it going.
Pyramids, but you would be wrong. In the Warhammer 40K
Escape from
universe,
Ever
this
After,
galaxy
a
is
Paper
filled with
Mario
endless
inspired
war,
RPG.
and
Oh, that sounds
humanity
so
itself is
cute!
fighting for survival against countless threats. Don't you listen to that guy, viewer. He's a coward, a fool, and you, my good sir, are Chad. And I swear to you that we can get those cheeks. Now how? I'll tell you how. First things first. As soon as you arrive on this planet, you eat, sleep, and the God Emperor. Everything and anything is for the God Emperor.
The God Emperor is most important.
To resist that corruption, you gotta build your faith up. And then you must get strong, then get swole. And also just either becoming a space marine, or better yet, becoming a high lord. A high lord whose words are only second to the God Emperor himself. And it is then, and only then, we be able to get those cheeks. They'll die doing it that way. Well, Goj Vandar, the 361st Master of the Ministratum, did it. And he also got his head cut off by Dominica. Do not skip parts of the story. You'll confuse the viewers. Now, like I was saying, if you were lucky enough to get past all the corruption and all the wars and all the Xenos, could you, the average Joe, still get the cheeks? For me to figure this out,
I mean, they're nuns, right? So, like, no.
Adeptus Sororitas, and this is what I found. All right, in the lore of the Adeptus Sororitas, before they were called the Sisters of Baal, they were called the Daughters of the Emperor. And in the 36th millennium, on a backwater planet called San Lier, they were found by the Imperium's ecclesiarchy. Also, before they were even found, they were already dedicated to the worship of the God Emperor, and they even had trained themselves in the ancient arts of war as an expression of their devotion. And the Imperium took interest in this all-female cult due to their religious zeal and their, how shall I say this, that body, baby. Yeah! Hey, shut up, I'm cooking here.
Hang on. My friend lost her shit when I told her there is a race of Xenos that are basically hyper-intelligent cyborg orangutans. They're called Jokero. I did not know a thing about that.
You cook too slow. I cook faster when you shut the fuck up. Now what was oh yes. In particular, Goj Vandar, the master baiter of the Administratum, took a special interest in those cheeks. And due to trickery, Vandar was able to make the Daughters of the Emperor into his bodyguards, renaming them the Brides of the Emperor. They became fiercely loyal to him, and he armed them with powerful weaponry and trained them extensively. They were his constant guards and his silent executioners.
I
and they
love
not only
the
served
guns in
Vandar as his
Warhammer.
bodyguards, but also his servants and his companions. Hoo-hoo, giggity. Now they tasted the High Lord's food and even fed him when he fell weak with illness, and nursed his frail body back to health. And the other things they did for Vandar included singing, dancing, and other more exotic skills. Now, viewer, it is implied that here they did sleep with Vandar. Now, whether they really did or didn't is really kind of wishy-washy, but some of them likely did because they are simps for the God Emperor, and Vandar is connected to the God Emperor at this time. And also, and this is a pro, they are not forbidden from having relationships or engaging in sexual activity. But this may also depend on the faction that they're in. Now, there are some that believe that the Sisters of Baal take a vow of celibacy. Now, I didn't read that anywhere, and trust me, I looked, but I didn't find it. So more or less, they can get freaky. Either way, Vandar during this time was described as being evil. Apparently, only so much gooning is allowed in the Imperium, and Vandar was using the daughters for his personal pleasures. Giggity. Anyway, this ended when Dominica, the leader of the daughters at the time, was taken to the throne room of the Emperor. Now, no one knows what happened in that throne room, but when she came out of the throne room, she marched into Vandar's chambers, condemned him for his crimes, and cut off his head. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that going down Vandar's route is not the brightest idea. I'm not sure all the God Emperor's powers, but it would seem he let Dominica know what was going on. And from this day forward, the daughters were renamed the
I'm sorry I'm not talking much. I'm trying to like
AKA
understand.
the Sisters of Battle. Now,
It seems like it's a bad idea to do it.
Or more or less their faith. Their main overall focus is the God Emperor. And I mean, obviously, you can tell from the story I just told you that they are complete simps for this man.
Yeah, they're married to
the
Emperor.
The God Emperor, well, then they're gonna kill you. Oh, and did I mention that these guys are racist? Racist? Yep. Towards who? Well, really anything that's not considered human. You know, like aliens. Ha! Sucks for them. But not us perfect cats, right? The Emperor loves cats? Well, I won't get into the Warhammer cat girls in this video, but technically, they don't mind cats. Or more or less, they at least won't kill them all immediately. Yeah! Anyway, besides their faith in their racism, there's also an issue with time for them. They don't really have any time for relationships or kids for that matter. However, I did read that this only included the ones that were in combat and not the ones in quieter corners of the ecclesiarchy. For example, a hospitaller, which are the healers of the Adeptus Sororitas.
I thought they were called
may have more time for a
hospitallers.
relationship because they are in a non-militant order, and their main focus seems to be on healing and medical care for all citizens of the Imperium. So they may have more time than the ones in combat roles, but how much more time? Don't know. I've read that they operate in hospitals and clinics across the Imperium. Yo, I just realized something. This is why they say all nurses are freaks. Hell yeah. Bruh, this may be the answer right here. If you want to get laid by a sister of battle, you just gotta go for the hospitaller.
No, nurses tend to be whores. Not all of them, obviously, but even like when I was going through my health scare, I definitely saw some that looked like they got around.
And as for that sweet comfort, all tongue, no needle.
Rewind a little when you talk over it. I'll just not talk while it's playing if that's a problem.
Anyway, the next con is dealing with the children you could have if she gets pregnant. Now again, the ones in combat really don't got time for no kids, and their main focus is supposed to be on the Emperor anyway. And if they have a relationship with you and the kid, that focus goes out the window. And number one, if a sister of battle violates their faith, they could be made into a sister repenter to atone for their sins, or in other words, to die. And number two, if she gets pregnant, that kid may not be raised by her or you. There's a place in this world called the Scala Progenium, and it's described as a harsh training system for the orphaned and surrendered children. Now, the child's fate will depend on certain factors like their gender, whether they have psychic abilities, and etc. More or less, your child may be in for a lot of suffering. But now, I did read something that said the child could also be raised in the Sisters Order, especially if it's a non-militant order with less strict requirements. So if you sleep with someone like a hospitaller and she has a kid, and her order has less strict requirements, the kid may be able to be raised in that order. But this is rare, and more than likely what I said before would happen. Now, with that being said, let's talk about some of the famous ones in the Sisters of Battle. I want to talk about the sexy white-haired one.
How did I know? They were very attractive and they chased the doctor around. Like, okay, I get that's like their job, but like, in one instance I can tell that they were flirting.
He means Alicia.
Yeah, and also every nurse I have known personally was a slut.
Dominica, also known as the patron saint of the sisterhood. Fun fact,
Have a good night, Nathan. Thank you for being here.
her hair actually turned white after she encountered
Well, it's people are complaining that I'm talking during it. It's not that I'm trying to be quiet. If I did that, people would stop watching.
the Emperor, and I read that this event was honored by the Order of Our Martyred Lady, and the other members of this group apparently dyed their hair white in tribute of this event. She's also called the Bearer of the Grail of Ages and the founder of the Order of the Ebon Chalice. And she's revered throughout the Imperium of Man as both the founder and the patron Imperium saint of the Adeptus Sororitas. And just in case I didn't make this clear, yes, she is the one who beheaded Goj Vandar. And by doing this, she ended what was called the Reign of Blood. Now, the powers of these ladies are a little bit, I would say weird. I read they wear power armor, obviously, but their power armor isn't as strong as a Space Marine's power armor. I heard their armor is actually equal to that of an Inquisitor's, and they use all sorts of different weapons, same as Space Marines. Now, what did stand out to me was the abilities they get from their faith, or more or less the God Emperor himself. I've read that their unwavering faith allows them to perform what's called acts of faith. or more or less miracles. These acts of faith can change the tides of battle, enhance their physical prowess, and even push them beyond normal human limits. The Sisters of Battle, including Dominica, exhibit superhuman strength, agility, and durability. And I read in her last battle before she died.
No! Why? Why?
Do you have to be so dramatic? Why all the good ones got to die, Knight? They're soldiers. Soldiers die. That doesn't make me feel any better! Well, maybe this will. In her last battle, she survived literally hundreds of—
Oh no, Savask, don't take me wrong. They're fucking the Doctor, and the Doctor's fucking multiple of them a lot of the time. Definitely that. They're probably competing with each other to get the main Doctor.
blows throughout the battle. She was only eventually killed by a single laser blast that penetrated a weakened point in her armor and pierced her heart. Well, why didn't the God Emperor resurrect her like he did Saint Celestine? Voice, I don't know if you noticed this, but the God Emperor and their Imperium itself aren't exactly the best of people. I'm sorry, what? You heard me, they're not good. Damn it, no more bullets. Anyway, since Knight's dead, I'll talk about the next one. Yay! Next one, Saint Celestine, a sister of battle that can only truly be described as a pure angel. Yeah, I get that. Saint Celestine is a revered living saint of the Adeptus Sororitas, Order of our Martyred Lady. She's known as a being of incredible psychic power and faith, and she's believed by many in the Imperium of Man to have been resurrected from death many times as a tool of the Emperor of Mankind himself. So yeah, unlike other Adeptus Sororitas, she's been resurrected multiple times. And also, fun fact, her wings are a psychic manifestation that can apparently be used for flight. And I even read when she comes back to life, it's like that of a phoenix. And with just a gesture, the living saint can call down fires of psychic retribution down from on high. And she can infuse her sick or injured allies with healing energies. And she's clad in a suit of shining golden Sororitas power armor. Now, I don't know what that power armor does, but it's gold. So the God Emperor must have hooked her up with that good shit. And there's more! She wields an ardent blade, a weapon capable of unleashing flames. Plus, she radiates holy aura, literally Sun Jin Woo having ass type shit, and inspires awe and devotion in the faithful while striking fear in the unfaithful. I think it's safe to say that girl is in a league all by herself.
Sleep good sideways, thank you for being here.
I didn't read about any other Sisters of Battle, so tell me, viewers, if you know about any more that you would like to hear about. And by the way, just in case you're confused, yes, the Sisters of Battle are wise to smash, and if you're afraid of a little bit of corruption or aliens, then you don't deserve those holy cheeks. Those cheeks for the strong anyway. The strong and the fearless. Anyway, you guys have a great day and leave your opinions in the comments. Bye.
Well, they sound scary, but I would probably take my chances. So I do have this one that I want to watch. And this is by Tom and Don. This is one that was submitted in the Discord. It says, why humans in 40k are the good guys actually? And I was very curious about this one because they are the good guys, aren't they? But why? And I'm sorry I'm not talking a lot. I'm trying to like let the video play. I'm not gonna try to talk over it anymore since there's complaints. So let's just kick back and enjoy.
Actually, today we're going to be talking about Warhammer 40k and clearing the record about humanity. 40k is supposed to be a satire of fascism and super zealous religiosity mixed in with state, but the super fascism of the Imperium is actually logically necessary to avoid extinction.
I want a fact check on whether it's really designed to like make fun of fascism, because that's the shit you hear.
I love how posh they sound. So this is quite interesting. Yeah, I'm pausing to talk. I'm doing that.
You're trotting about, but like, where's the proof? Who said that?
Drop a fact check on screen. Use an AI voice sped up.
Shut the fuck up.
So today we're going to look at the evil things that the Imperium is accused of by the hordes of unwashed masses online, and why they're actually entirely right and justified.
Entry number 1. Daily sacrifice of psychers to the Golden Throne. The Imperium rounds up roughly 1,000 innocent psychers every day and sacrifices them to the Golden Throne to sustain the Emperor's psychic presence, enabling Astronomicon navigation and preventing total collapse of warp travel across the Imperium.
Well, just let me lay that down for the normies watching who aren't fucking turbo dorks like us. Imagine the entirety of the globe is reliant on a single lighthouse. All navigations, airplanes, FedEx. If you want your fucking Funko Pops to arrive before Christmas, it's dependent on these navigation systems. Now imagine they're all powered by this one lighthouse. And if that goes down, the whole system collapses and you have to beat each other to death with rocks again, like days of yore. What price would be too much to keep that going? Because that's what this is. If the Emperor dies, literally I'm sorry. Literally humanity is fucking doomed. Doomed! If the Emperor dies, so, you know, he's... Plus, also, aren't psychers, like,
How woke is it now? I know you guys explained to me, like, the female custodians, but, like, how further worse is it? I don't know why people are just so afraid to have, like, a fictional version of something that rhymes with history. Because how else are we going to be able to, like, create art if we don't, like, examine human life and all that? Fascism isn't socialism. I don't think commies know the difference. And it's always funny when they're like, you're a Nazi. It's like, brother, I'm not nowhere near being a socialist. And Nazis wouldn't exist again. That's why they're called neo when you do see them. And if you saw a neo-Nazi, you'd know it. Not just throwing it around loosely till it loses all meaning. You know? Femstodes models. Alright, I'll keep it going.
potential vessels to demons coming out and, like, killing everyone if they're not controlled.
Yeah, causing a bunch of problems anyway.
Yeah, what's next? Consider that fucking put to bed. Necessary. Boom, necessary.
You're an adult! At least that's what our YouTube demographics say. Which means you're probably watching this from a sad, padded cell you've been meaning to decorate for years. Neutered of all the joy and creativity you want.
Exterminatus of entire worlds. Imperial authorities regularly enact exterminatus, destroying all life on a planet, often billions or trillions of civilians, to prevent chaos, tyrannid, or xenos contamination from spreading. Justification? Easy. If a whole world has been plunged to either demonic incursion, where everyone is getting pegged to death by Slaneshi demons.
I'm an adult now? What do you mean? Oh, because I'm watching them? I'm no longer a lolly, as I was accused of being. I'm a lolly? Well, I grew up now. Okay, look at me. I'm watching Tom and Dawn. Big girl stuff.
Or the Tyrannids are just gonna strip it of all of its biomass and use it to make more warriors and stuff. Like, yeah, fucking blow the shit up. We do that all the time and it makes sense. Like, in Wars of Yore, that's my word for today. In Wars of Yore, you burn the grain fields so the stupid fucking Romans who come to your little island, which was doing nothing wrong, and try and steal your shit, you burn it down so they have a hard time.
So this is going to be the common theme of this whole video, is the problem of chaos. In your fiction, you introduce this thing that's so powerful and corrosive that if there's just a little drip of it, it legitimately poses this threat to the entire planet anyway. So it very quickly becomes rational. Yeah, we have to blow up the whole planet and kill 1 trillion people.
Plus also, like, there's loads of people. What's 1 trillion?
Well, yeah, so you get into this consequentialist thing of this many people die now saves X number of people, you know? People say, oh, well, if it was all about consequentialism, then you could go to the doctors, right? And you'd think you're just going in for a checkup, but he, like, puts you to sleep and harvests your organs to save 5 people that need organs right now or they're gonna die. And some people would argue, well, by consequentialism, that would be better, just like we're saying, well, we kill this planet and save all these other planets, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like, it's never just gonna be a binary, is it? How about if you go to the doctors and instead of saving 5 people, he steals your organs to save the entire fucking planet? I mean, you might say...
Oh my god, okay, I'm getting it. So killing them saves their souls from being eaten and tormented by chaos, usually. Oh... spikers? So there's stuff that's been retconned. Retconning always makes me sad.
Say no, but that's why you weigh it up. It's not just a binary like, well, we do entirely consequentialism and nothing else.
It's about scale.
Yeah, it's about scale and impact, you fucking idiot.
And I wonder how repetitive this video is going to be, because it more or less boils down to the same argument every
Dude,
time.
I'll keep beating them over the head with this until they get it. What's next? Boom, justified. Has to happen.
Number 3, genocide of peaceful Xeno civilizations.
Do we even need to answer this one? Maybe because they're fucking gross. You ever think about that? 3 eyes, 4 limbs. Does that seem normal to you?
Boom, justified.
Boom, justified. Fucking gross.
Let's talk about that anyways, though.
Don loves to talk about skull shapes. Go ahead.
Imperial doctrine mandates the eradication of all alien species, even those that are non-hostile or diplomatically inclined, under the belief that coexistence is heresy. The justification given is imperial history records countless examples of initially peaceful Xeno species later turning predatory or subversive.
Dude, I was gonna say that was gonna be my reasoning without even knowing it's the Imperium's reasoning. I'm so aligned.
Yeah, fascism.
Well, that's not what I said. So,
This is all bulletproof satire.
yeah, I mean, dude, you come across the Tau and they're little blue fish people in caves. You're like, what am I gonna do? Just kill these innocent fish people? You come back 3,000 years later and they're shooting railguns at they're shooting railguns at you. And as soon as every alien species is gone, there'll be peace. We'll all get along.
This gets back to the satire thing. The whole point in satire is to set up kind of a thought experiment with fiction to illuminate a truth about reality, like our own society, right? But if the thought experiment equals, actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Does this one make a lot of sense?
Well, if
I was just being funny.
if in world they tend to grow up to be the Tau, you know?
Yeah.
So do you think 40K should have hardcore subjugation and colonialism? Right?
You're like, they
Oh, now I remember. They're the greater good guys. Yeah, I get it now. I fucking don't like them. I don't like them as much as the Tyranid, to be honest with you.
This is effective satire of fascism because instead we could be 19th century expansionists.
But if they were 19th century expansionists, it would track with what they have to do to survive.
But I don't know if history, like, really helps the case of that here.
Oh, because they tend to get repelled and then
Because eventually you get kicked out and the people that you kind of did some whoopsies against don't like you very much.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, we had the biggest power disparity ever and we still got fucking booted out of a bunch of places because appetite for it left, like... we drained all of our treasure with a bunch of shit. We're just like, man, we can't keep doing this. Too expensive.
So what is the Imperium to do, Tom?
Oh wait, so that's good? Do you all collectively not like the Tau? I don't like the Tau. I don't care about them. I don't think they're cool at all. I don't like this greater good shit.
Because colonialism isn't going to work. Maybe they used to try that.
Shit. By Jove, Don, you're right! The only solution is to kill them all! Fuck!
What is the hate march? You'll have to tell me what that is.
Back to a plan A.
Boom! Justified!
Please help us poke holes in that one. But from where we're sitting, that seems to be the only...
What are we gonna do?
what are you gonna do, you know?
Bring them into the fold and then you got a bunch of blogs running the Imperial system? Are they gonna want to feed psychers to the Emperor? What then?
I want to watch Space King. I might do that next week because I really like the funny stuff a lot.
Next question.
Enforced worship of the Emperor. The Imperium enforces mandatory religious worship of the Emperor as a god, executing or imprisoning those who reject the Imperial cult, even when dissent is peaceful. Justification? Simple. This goes back to the demons. Unfortunately, because demons are real in 40k, the only way to really, like, repel them is through faith. And, like, praying to the Emperor makes him powerful in the warp, which, yeah. you kind of have to have if you don't want demons to be killing and raping babies.
You can't allow secularism.
Yeah, I think we've tried it.
Coming up.
I think we've tried it. We've seen what happens. We got to go back.
Gotta go back. It all just kind of spins out of control.
Do you know what? Turns out shame was a good thing. And maybe that's what the Imperial cult understands.
Maybe we found the satire.
What, how?
Maybe Games Workshop is saying Christianity was the way. Oh,
Dude, the satire is actually against moral degradation and societal decay.
being a goddamn atheist.
Being a stupid atheist dickhead. Open and shut case, honestly.
Boom, justified.
All right, what's next?
Number 5, suppression and erasure of human cultures. Human worlds that diverge from imperial religion, governance, or technology are often forcibly reconquered, with local cultures erased and replaced by imperial dogma. Kind of the same as talking about religion and stuff, you know?
You just
Break me in on Space King? I mean, it sounds like it's like in some of the best shit. That's why I was thinking maybe I can watch that next week with you guys.
Problem is, boys, you need a good unified front. We can't keep infighting. It's like, it's all well and good for everyone to be like a special, unique snowflake or whatever, but when the enemy's at the gates, you know, you want to be that one twig or like the many twigs. I think Martin explained it best in The Simpsons.
Who?
Just put a clip up.
He's right. Individually, we are weak, like a single twig. But as a bundle, we form a mighty thing.
Or, in other words, retard strong together.
Boom, justified?
Whatever, justified. I don't care. Use of child soldiers. Space Marine chapters recruit children, often as young as 8 to 12 years old, subjecting them to lethal trials where most candidates die before implantation. Justification. We need Space Marines, clearly, otherwise no one's going to be buying any models.
In the actual lore, Space Marines are some of the most powerful individual warriors in the entire universe. So if you're facing extinction level events from all sides, from aliens and stuff, you need those guys. And it's kind of like we were saying earlier, it's, you know, handful of 8-year-olds here and there to drop in the bucket.
Yeah, like, what does kind of undo this, and I'll just say this so that we can counter it or something. Space Marines are kind of fucking dog shit.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, Don. If a gene stealer, which can be made in like 5 seconds by squirting baby batter on the floor, can kill a Space Marine with his claws, like...
Yeah, there is too much stuff that one-shots them.
Yeah.
Probably.
They're just not effective, like, if you spend 5 seconds thinking about it.
I think it's more tempered in the books, though, versus, like, the actual game. Like, yeah, Gene Stealers being the one stupid exception, because they're so cheap for Tyranids and so lethal to armor. And obviously there's, like, elites in other armies that have weapons that can kill them easily, but those are relatively characterized as sort of rare, you know? Like, you can't have, like, 1,000 of those cheaply marching on you.
Yeah, but kinda, like, a Space Marine would still get taken out by a fucking hefty shell from a tank. You drop a squad of Space Marines on a planet and they're like, dude, planet's done for, Space Marines are here. But it's like, if almost any weaponry that can take out a tank can take out a Space Marine, and most planets surely have a bunch of that shit. They just have plot armor.
I think the power scaling's been off.
100%. But again, it's numbers, right? How many orcs are there? Trillions, and maybe like an orc knob, or at least a mega knob, can kill a Space Marine, and like almost every orc squad has a knob. Space Marines, there's 1 million tops.
Yeah.
It's just sheer numbers, and I know they're like strike force behind enemy lines, like tactical insert, blah 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 blah, but like that's not really how they're portrayed that much. They're always just on the front cover, like going toe to toe in a big army versus army fight. I don't know. I know I'm gonna get fucking ripped for this, but I'm right.
Well, you're just saying there's not enough of them.
Yeah.
But pre-heresy, a legion was 100,000 Marines. So maybe what we really need to do is...
That's still only 2 million.
Well, we need more legions.
Yeah, we need more Space Marines.
Yeah, all these chapters could up recruitment. Why not?
That's fucking true.
Yeah.
So this is an artificial constraint.
Uh-huh.
But the point of them being like propaganda tools still makes this entirely justified.
So we need more propaganda and more 8-year-olds.
Yeah, like 1 million 8-year-olds to boost the morale of trillions upon trillions of humans in the entire empire. Like, I mean, do you want everyone to be sad? Yeah, justified.
I love
Plus,
this
isn't
Space
I think the
Marines.
Black Templars' whole thing is they're perpetually on crusade by the letter of the
Yeah.
law.
Like, the humans are the best fucking thing ever. It seems like in Warhammer. Or Warhammer 40k, that is.
So they're not capped by the 1,000 Marine limit that's set out in the rules.
People think there's like 500,000 of them or something.
There's a lot, and they're the coolest Space Marines ever, so justified.
Justified. Number 7, deliberate use of human wave tactics. The Astra Militarum frequently employs tactics that accept catastrophic casualty rates, treating soldiers as expendable resources rather than individuals. So this is kind of World War I style, 1,000 of you charge them and it'll break their ranks and then we'll get to kill them, but all of you will die. The Imperium fights wars of attrition against enemies that do not tire, fear, or negotiate. Preserving manpower at the cost of strategic defeat would lead to greater long-term casualties. Bodies are replaceable, lost territory is not.
So I like that. It's almost a landlord way of thinking.
I think lost territory is kind of replaceable. You just
Well, you can't
You just
make
cap-
more. You
you
can't make
capture it
more
back.
land.
yeah, but you capture back the
Yeah,
territory you
that's
lost.
fair.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Justified.
Yeah. You can't wait for the Space Marines to get here.
That's right. There's only 1 million of them. Forced labor on a galactic scale. Entire planetary populations are condemned to generational slavery in manufactorums, hive cities, or penal colonies, often working until death. Okay, so we're about to justify slavery. Go ahead, Don.
It's your section, buddy.
Just gonna knock the ball to you. A little table tennis.
I literally can't read the script.
Dude, how is it I have the fucked up eyes?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I cannot read that. The Imperium requires...
Basically, like, it's gonna cost too much money if we don't just have people do it for free. Do you like the pyramids? Huh? You think the pyramids are cool? Guess what? You can't spend the entirety of Egypt's loot on that. If they did, we wouldn't have pyramids today. That's how you bankrupt an empire. How's the South been doing since they lost their free labor? Not very economically prosperous.
All right, Tom, you want to say the thing then about this one? You want to stamp this one?
Mind wiping and psychic reprogramming. Imperial authorities regularly perform memory erasure and psychic conditioning on soldiers, officials, and civilians to maintain secrecy or obedience. Justification. I mean, like, can you know something?
I'm wondering if humans are the majority population of Warhammer. Or Warhammer 40k. It's seeming like it might be the Tyranids, and humans are second to that. I don't know. That's like a guess. I'm not sure.
On that's so devastating that you need to have your mind wiped.
I can know about chaos. I can go make a little cult following chaos.
And then you burst at the seams as a demon rips out of you.
Yeah, what was the name of that socialist commune?
You gotta narrow the question.
The fuck? It was like they tried to make a state.
You talking about the thing in Seattle?
Yeah, I know about chaos, and I go start a little Chaz for the chaos stuff. You know?
Ah, yes. 2021's Chaz in Seattle. The perfect demonstration of this point.
We're talking about satire in 40k and how it relates to the contemporary world, or whether it relates to the contemporary world.
So we should have mind wiped those retards who took over a block in Seattle.
Yeah, because like somebody died or something.
I feel like we're seeing a first-hand look into how
Way more demons than humans? Okay, Snark Monkey says more demons than humans. Of course. That would make sense, right? Because they're... Well, I don't know. I think I'm like talking about something I don't fully understand.
this actually functions in the Warhammer universe. Some guy's like, yeah, I think they were like dabbling with chaos or something. I'm like, really? What makes you say that? Is I think someone died or something. And then they're like, all right. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Let's just fucking wipe those cunts.
I got 1,000 more of these to get to. I can't like think about this any longer, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, some of the other ones might be more serious, so.
It's the classic, it's the age-old question, right? You've got a bag of Skittles. One of the Skittles is poisonous. You gonna eat the bag of Skittles?
You're really gonna eat the bag of Skittles?
Or are you gonna throw all the Skittles in the bin? And that's what this is. Like, yes, a few people are gonna have their minds wide. Woo. They're probably dummies anyway.
Maybe there wasn't a poison Skittle after all.
Also possible.
But are you gonna take the chance?
Yeah.
You're probably still gonna throw it out.
Yeah, it's like, how much is a bag of Skittles even worth? Like, nothing. Would you argue that human life is worth more than Skittles, though?
Yeah.
So, did that change anything?
Well, how do you relate? Also, cut my hesitation.
Keep his hesitation.
I'm tired. That's all.
That's all it is. Wait. Let's game it out properly. What if one of these Skittles, if it gets into the supply of the rest of the Skittles, makes tons of other Skittles poisonous, and now the world's supply of Skittles is like dangerous? So you're definitely gonna like cleanse those Skittles then, aren't you?
Well, you say game it out properly, and we're talking about human life, right? So there's a million Skittles, and if you let these a million Skittles,
Are you okay?
I'm very tired. I'm trying to build an allegory that relates to eating the Skittle.
Maybe we should stop with the Skittle
Maybe
allegory.
we move on from Skittles.
Yeah. Justified.
Well, which one were we talking about again? Anyways?
Mind erasure.
Okay, yeah, justified for sure. Use of servitors. The Imperium lobotomizes criminals, political.
Oh, this is interesting because I think the servitors are fucking weird and cool. I think like one poisoned Skittle. And they showed a bag of regular Skittles, so.
Dissidents and debtors, converting them into cybernetic servitors used as tools, machines, or even furniture.
Kind of cool.
Yeah. Justification. True artificial intelligence nearly annihilated humanity in the dark age of technology. Yeah, so that's what 40K does with AI lore. We tried it as humanity a long time ago, and then it rose up and called itself the Men of Iron, almost destroyed all of humanity. So now AI is banned in the present day 40K, and in general, servitors are used instead.
That's really fucked up.
What?
Yeah, you've got like a slackjaw servitor who's just like wheeling around on his little things. 100% someone has like face fucked that thing.
Yeah. Are they conscious though?
Not really.
Yeah, so is that ethical?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Is it ethical to face fuck a
servitor
that's in a coma?
It's almost, yeah, that's really what it comes down to. Like, is it ethical to face fuck someone in a coma?
That's like a vegetable that's
yeah.
been
You'd probably say no, right? Although maybe that's a big brain question.
That was a question. Servitors.
Okay, you owe the bank $10,000, you can't pay it. Should they be able to put you in a coma, plug you into a Scalextrics, and have you, like, sweep the floors like a Roomba?
For 10,000 years?
Forever, yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Probably not. But is it more or less ethical to put someone in a coma and make their body a slave to do whatever?
Versus just killing them? It's like less ethical. You're basically killing them and making them a slave at the same time, so it doubles up. But as we've already said, slavery is justified in Warhammer 40,000, so I guess this is double justified.
Comatose slavery?
Yeah, I mean, it's
double
better
justified?
than uncomatose slavery. Like that, would you rather be a slave and not know it, or know it and not be a slave?
You have to be a slave forever, no matter what, and there's no possibility of freedom, but you have to suffer the pain of being a slave until you die, or basically they just kill you and use your body as a slave.
And occasionally, like, when no one's looking, a manufactorum priest puts his weenie in your slack jaw.
I think this might be good satire. We may have found it.
Nah, because, like...
You think this is necessary?
Yeah, but this is, like, putting people to death or making them a servitor, and if you're gonna kill someone, like, you might as well at least stick a broomstick up their ass and have them be useful.
But we're putting them to death because they owe $10,000.
Well, I mean, should have been more careful.
We don't have the resources to put them in jail.
They're just paying off their debt. I don't know, dude. I'm tired. Wow! Don and I have truly exhausted the very limits of our minds and both need a nap.
It was interesting.
Being right all the time and justifying what should be obvious solutions the Imperium have enacted to keep us all safe is tired work. So we will see you next week.
But if you want to learn more about the Imperium or other 40K stuff,
Click here.
on this video that we'll be promoting
Well,
at this point in time.
It's the best one we
let's hang out and chat for a little bit. Do I stream on Twitch? I have one. There's links below, like Rumble and YouTube, if you guys want to check out other places I'm at. But I don't normally stream on Twitch. I'm on Rumble, YouTube. Eventually I need to go over to Kick, but you are welcome to follow me on Twitch. There might be a time that I finally come back to it. I mean, I'm not like totally ruling it out. Hang on. Why don't we get a little bit more together here? Well, that was fun, guys. I'm sorry I didn't talk a lot. I'm kind of new to being a React streamer, doing React things. I feel kind of boring a lot of time. Also, like, in Darktide, there's a small chance a Hell Station servitor will gain consciousness and freak out when used. I did not know that actually... I wonder if, like, that happened, and I just didn't catch it before. I mean, I had fun. That was really funny. I'm also, like, tired. I've had a very busy day. Oh, did you get here at the end of the stream? Yeah, I usually go for 2 hours. Usually, but sometimes, like, I'll go for, like, 3 or 4 hours. I always try to leave room to sleep so I can, mentally function the next day. For my shitty little job. It was great, though. I mean, Sisters of Battle. I would still try my chance at bagging one of them. Also, my wife watched Space King with me. I did not expect that. Is Space King, like, really notorious or something? Like, maybe we should straight up watch it next week. I could tell you seem drunk. Yeah, oh man. And as the most of you know, I got, like, the panic-induced sleep problems where I can't sleep very much. Because I have panic attacks even in my sleep. Or, well, nightmares, and then sometimes they're panic attacks, and... Hello, G. $4. Let's see. White people were taken as slaves by the darker races for centuries. Actually, Celts were captured and sold as slaves to Arabs. Yeah, oh yeah, by Scandies for a long time. As a Celt, no hard feelings, all's fair, etc. It was the times. The third world are just upset we surpassed them in every way possible and were the better people because we excelled even after being the first to end slavery. God bless white people. Yeah. Slavery in Warhammer is, like, pretty cool, though. Well, I listen, I just think that servitors are weirdly cool. But you guys, I promise on Warhammer Wednesdays going forward, I will actually do better about not talking over the videos. Listen, I get a little ahead of myself with all the yapping, okay? Arabs also raided the Norse to enslave them. Yeah. We're more than a Twitter profile. They all— oh wow. Is that how you found me? Hold on, Jade? Jadeite? You found me, like, did you find me on Twitch? Most people discover me on Twitter. Well, lately, I guess it's been surpassed by the YouTube algorithm. I gotta be less rude, though. I'll yap all day. Yap all night. I'm trying to read you guys. That's why I'm like bent over like this. I know. I'm always like, guys, I talk too much. I'll be honest with you. Many times in my IRL life have I had women, especially women, tell me that I'm annoying. And that's why I'm like overly apologetic at times. Like, I'm sorry. I am talking too much. Good night, Snark Monkey. I'll talk a little bit longer and then I'll get out of here. Space King must be the shit because you guys are like all about it. So, speak up. We watching Space King next week? I'll definitely play it. Is it on YouTube, first of all? Like, if it's on YouTube. Because that's just the easier way. You run it how you want to? Well, I don't want to upset people. And I mean, I like when people voice what they want. Or what's going on. Hang on, so... Wednesday, I got my handy dandy Hello Kitty planner out, okay guys? You know I'm serious business. So we're gonna do Warhammer, because it's Warhammer Wednesday. And I'm gonna write... Space King. I want to know about Space King. Space King. There we go. That'll be the plan. Next Tuesday, I kind of want to do more Epstein stuff. And I'm going to tell you what, coming Sunday night, since I probably will have that night open, I kind of want to watch the Epstein interview. It's 2 hours long, but I don't have to really do anything that, at least early Monday. So what if we did the Epstein interview with Bannon Sunday night? It'll be long, but I'm so curious about that whole thing. Because supposedly, like at one point, like like Bannon just mentions Jesus, and he gets like kind of angry about it. Epstein does, and I know I'm secular, but like it's interesting to me. I want to know what that's all about. Oh, thank you for being here. Only 4 episodes so far. You could watch them all. Space King's only 4 episodes? Good night, dingus. The Night Lords. I think I've only heard the Night Lords' name, and I don't know anything else about them. I already like their name. Flash gets. Oh, Donnie linked it to me. Thank you, Donnie. So this is them? Oh. Oh, this shit's new? This isn't like Bruva where it's like years old? Oh, look at this. Okay, hang on. Space King. So this is 5. We're not gonna watch it right now. I'm just looking at it. Hang on. You can come look at it with me. I'm just checking it out. Just doing a little look, you know? We're just looking. So, oh wow, we could definitely do like a whole stream. Hang on, I'm in a way. I'll get out of the way a little bit. Like, look at those. Even the playlist, they're like not too long. This one's like 2 minutes long now. Sneak peek. I guess I'll watch a sneak peek. Should I watch this 2-minute video? It says, I'm gonna click it. It says Space King, hate mongers, King's message. Should I watch this as a sneak peek? The Furry Crusades? I'm getting confused. Is that the werewolves? Yeah. I was doing it willingly there, but most of the time I don't even realize I'm doing it. So no. Rooster says no. Mars says yes. What the hell are you talking about? Epstein's a tunnel Jew. Was he in the tunnel? You guys seen where the conspiracies are resurrecting where they think he's alive? Guys, I'm gonna be for real with you. I don't know. I would almost venture to believe out of all the theories of like Elvis is still alive, Tupac's still alive, I'd actually venture to believe Epstein is actually still alive. So this is a spoiler. Alright, I can't. Mars, I can't. Everybody else, I can't. Rooster is telling me I don't want it to be spoiled. That watching this is a spoiler. I won't do it. I won't do it. But we will do Space King next week. And then tomorrow night I'm going to be reacting to the hell am I watching tomorrow night? Hang on. The Elfin PSYOP drama. Hear how fucked up it really is? Which I don't know if I'm even looking forward to that, especially considering that she sold CP of herself. Like, oh man, like why is this happening? But yeah, I don't know. I mean, this drama happened a while ago, but there's this video that was sent to me that seemed quite interesting, to say the least, and I thought, all right, we'll react to that on stream. The liberal position that Epstein was Putin. That Epstein was Putin in the face mask the whole time. Liberals are so silly. Space King needs to be Rumble exclusive? Wait, hold on, why? I mean, I could maybe do that. Why, is Space King that bad? I'm sure it's on YouTube itself. It should be fine. I mean, if it's already on YouTube, I think we're okay. Oh, the Elfin PSYOP? Well, the video's on YouTube that we're gonna be reviewing. I would tell you which video it is, but I can't remember what it was. Hang on. No, I'm gonna have to ask somebody to link it to me later. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Space King for a second, but the Elfin PSYOP one, it's a YouTube video already, so I think I'll be okay. I mean, apparently it's some bad drama. Ugh. But Space King is fine. That's good. You guys, I think I am going to start winding down for the evening. I'm sorry for being on such low energy. I am. But tomorrow night, Elfin PSYOP drama. I keep wanting to call her Elfin Lied because Elfin Lied was one of my favorite animes years ago. That is totally not cool. But I keep trying to say the Elfin Lied PSYOP drama, and it's like, no, there's no lead in it. And I love you guys so very much. I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'll try to be more high energy tomorrow night, okay? And thank you guys all for being here. Thank you. This was very fun. I especially really like the Tom and Dawn. Is that what their names are? Tom and Dawn? I especially really like them. Tom and Dawn. Yeah, Tom and Dawn. They were great. I love you guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and get out of here. Oh yeah, Lucy. I used to have a poster, a really vintage poster of Elfin Lied, but I don't have it anymore, sadly. Maybe I do. I don't think I do, actually. because I did have to deal with a hurricane. And I lost a lot of my stuff during then, sadly. But yes, you guys, I will see you tomorrow night. Hopefully this psyop drama, elephant psyop drama, isn't too terrible. It probably is going to be horrendous, but I hope I see you there. Okay? And then Sunday night, I'm probably going to watch that Epstein interview in full, and that's probably going to be really boring and not me talking a whole lot, because I'll probably pause and have to rant a bit, and it's probably going to end up being like a 3 or 4 hour stream if I do it. So there's also that. So I love you guys so very much. I hope each and every one of you take care of yourselves, and I hope the rest of your night's good. And I hope that I get to see you tomorrow evening as well for the Elephant Psyop drama, okay? Okay. I'm gonna skip rating someone tonight because I'm ready to fall over. Bye, you guys. Bye bye.